Hi and welcome back to my channel and thanks so much for watching. This video is entitled My Paranormal Experiences as a Child Part 2. So I lived in a small town on Long Island called East Rockaway. As a child I lived in 2 childhood homes. This house is going to be centered around the second home. This house was built in the year 1910. This house was big and it was beautiful and it had a very big basement that was very creepy, and you're going to hear why in a second. So this basement was big and my father had it so that it was sectioned off into 3 different rooms. So when you walk down the stairs, my father's office was on the right, my mother's laundry room was on the left, and then if you go down a little bit, all the way pushed in the corner, there was another room there. This room was weird, and I mean weird. It almost looked like it didn't belong there. It looked like it wasn't finished. It kind of looked like something out of a horror movie. It looked as though it looked like the pit of hell. It looked like if you, number one, okay, you couldn't just walk in that room. There was 3 steps. So you had to go up 3 steps to walk in this room. And then there was this wooden kind of like beam. So you had to go up 3 steps and over this wooden beam. Literally, this room creeped me out so much. It looked like the pit of hell. It looked like there should be dead bodies buried in there. I don't know. I hated even thinking about that room. Even now, it's... I don't even know why that room was even there. I don't understand. It was filled with dirt. There was not even a floor. There wasn't even concrete. It was literally filled with just dirt all in that room. And then I remember one time when I got brave. One time I peered over the wooden beam. And I looked into the room, and it was literally, all it had was dirt and bits of like newspaper, and it looked like little like rubber balls that maybe some brave kid got close to that room and just threw them in there. I don't know. There was like newspapers ripped up, and I remember one time I tried to grab one of the newspapers to try to see like the year on it, but I got scared because I thought if I stuck my hand in there, something would grab me and like pull me down into the dirt. Literally, this room was horrifying. Literally horrifying. Woo, horrifying. So anyway, my mom used to constantly send me down there to go get the laundry, or to hang up the laundry, or to dry the laundry or whatever. So I would go down the stairs and I would be saying the Lord's Prayer as I was going down the stairs. I was literally terrified. So I would go down the stairs really quick. I would have my laundry basket and I would just start throwing all my clothes in the laundry basket and then race back up the stairs and slam the door shut. Terrifying. Literally terrifying. There's no words to describe this room. So anyway, I kept hearing something when I would go down those stairs and get the laundry, something scratching from that room, and it sounded like little scratching noises. The first 2 times I heard it, I really didn't think too much. I just wanted to shove that laundry in that basket as quickly as I could and run back up the stairs. I was like, I am not staying down here anymore. So I would run back up the stairs. This happened a few times where I would hear that scratching noise, but I thought maybe it could be like the wind or something. So I would just kind of, didn't think too much about it. Then something happened that it literally terrified me to my core. One day, my mother sent me downstairs again to go get the laundry with this huge basket, because we always had tons of laundry because there was 4 of us, so it was always tons of laundry. So I went down the stairs and I ran towards the laundry room, and I'm shoving all the clothes in the laundry basket, and I hear this whimpering. It sounded like an animal whimpering, almost like crying, and then I heard the sound of the scratching again, And I was like, what is going on? What is going on? And in my, in my like, in my visions, I saw a dog. And I saw like a brown dog. It was like a golden retriever. And I saw him clearly. I was so freaked out. I grabbed the laundry basket and I ran back up the stairs and I slammed the door. And I was trying to tell my mom, I'm like, Mom, there is something downstairs in the basement. I'm like, I don't know what it is. It's coming from that little creepy room. It's coming from in there. And she was like, Debbie, there's nothing down there. And I'm thinking to myself, if there's nothing down there, then how come you don't go get the laundry? Why do I always got to be going to get the laundry? I kept saying, Mom, please, you have to believe me. There's something going on. I hear it. It's coming from that room. She was like, there's nothing in that room. I was like, she goes, there's just dirt in there. That's it. And I'm thinking, but why is there all that dirt in that room? That's just weird. Like, weird. So anyway, a few days later, my mom decides she's going to go do the laundry. And she's going to go get the laundry. She goes down the stairs. She puts all the laundry in the machine. And I hear her scream and run up the stairs. Literally running up the stairs like something was chasing her. And I looked at her and I said, did you hear the whining and the crying? And she said, yes, I did, and scratching. And I said, well, what do you think it is? She goes, I don't know. I said to her, look, I keep seeing a dog. I keep seeing this dog, and he's brown and he's big. I think he's like a golden retriever. And my mom was like, I'm creeped out. I don't know if I can go back down there again. And I said, well, I'm not going back down there again. And she said, I don't think I'll be going back down there either. That night we sent my father down there. My father came home at about 6 from work, and we all jumped on him, and we kind of like told him, and he went down there. He had his flashlight and he had like the stick, and he goes down the basement. Of course, he's laughing his ass off at us because he thinks we're crazy. So he goes down there, and my sister goes down, and my sister, she doesn't believe in any of this. She thought me and my mom had like flipped our lids, and she was like laughing her ass off and giggling and looking at us like whatever. So my father, he went up those 3 steps and went over the beam into the dirt with his flashlight, with this stick, and he's poking around. And I'm like, Dad, don't poke that dirt. We don't know what's under the dirt. Stop, there's nothing under the dirt. And he's poking away at the dirt, and my sister's out there laughing, and my mom has a look on her face like any second she's gonna run. And I was standing there like, Mom, if you run, I'm running right behind you. So he's poking away at the dirt. He goes over the beam, comes back down the stairs, and he's like, you guys are both crazy. There is nothing here. I don't see anything. I don't hear anything. You two get your ass back upstairs. There's nothing here. So all of us go back upstairs. My sister's having a good laugh. A few days later, we hear it again. Now, it can't be that 2 people are hearing this if it's not going on. I know that my mom and I had like this special gift that we can, hear things and see things, but this was literally getting out of hand. Like, was there something in that basement? Like, what was in that basement? It didn't make any sense. Anyway, the landlord comes over. She came over once a month to get her rent. So she came over, and I'm not going to say what her name was, but she came over, and she was a really, really nice lady, and she would kind of, hang out and kind of, talk with us and stuff. So she's like, so how do you and your family like, living in the house? And my mom's like, oh, we love it. Debbie loves it. Paul does. We all love it. It's a beautiful house. She goes, but we don't like going down in the basement. And she's like, why? Why don't you like going down there? And she's like, well, me and Debbie both heard like this scratching sound, and like this kind of like this, it almost sounded like a dog, she said, kind of like crying in pain. And her face literally just, it turned white. Her face turned white and she was staring at us, and she kind of like straightened up a little bit and she's like, oh. And then she's drinking her coffee, and I'm just looking at this woman and I'm like, lady, I know there's something you're not telling us. Why don't you just spill the beans on it, because you look very, very suspect right now, lady. And she looked and she's like, well, she goes, if you hear a dog in there, she goes like, that's kind of weird. I don't know how you guys are hearing a dog in there. And my mom's like, we're hearing a dog in there. And then she's like, well, a few years ago, she goes, before we got our second dog, we had a golden retriever, a brown golden retriever. I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, what is this woman gonna say? Because now my ears are like, perking up, and I'm like, what is this lady gonna say? And she's like, oh, I love this dog. I had him for years, and he was my best friend, and he was my child, and my best friend, and he passed away. And I'm just sitting there and I'm looking at her, and my eyes are probably really wide because I had a feeling what she was already gonna say. It was all making sense. She goes, he passed away and we cremated him, and we wanted him to remain very, very close to us. So we threw his ashes in the room in the basement. Me and my mother look at each other. Our mouths literally drop open. My sister's sitting there like, what? Nobody could believe what we were hearing. As it turns out, there really was a dog that was in the basement that was, rest his soul, that was buried in the basement. My father finally believed us because the landlord told my dad about what we heard, that was true, that there really was a dog in the basement, not a live dog, but a dog that she cremated, and put in that room in the basement. I don't understand even now why that woman would put that poor dog in that room, because the room, like, I wish I had a photo because it was that scary. Like, I wouldn't put anything in that room. I wouldn't even put a dead cockroach in that room. It was that bad. It was that bad. Anyway, guys, thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.